That's the
Got it.
benefit.
We're up.
Okay.
And with another little wonderful snafu, I shouldn't have tried to do any work in between.
Okay, one thing,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
when you finish recording, when you sign off, it's gonna go through several minutes of processing the item. In other words, you won't get out of Zoom right away. It'll
Oh,
take
it'll be open. All
6 or
right.
7 minutes.
All righty. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And Ken's on the road. He's on his way to the Galapagos, I believe, with a pit stop in Buenos Aires or something he told me just recently. And we are so fortunate to have Pete Losey tonight, and he's going to cover, well, everything in the world, but particularly the Apple TV. And I think there's some rumors of some things going on in the very near future. He might touch on those. But we're going to start with our any volunteer announcement or member announcements. All right, I'm seeing none. Nobody piped in.
You have a hand up.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, yes, Mr. Rack.
Okay, I'll make one comment to continue on the earlier discussion of should you buy the M3 or the M2 or whatever. Buy what's available at the price you can afford when you need it. Because remember, the day after the M3 is announced, they will have rumors on the M4.
Oh, yeah.
If you wait
Mhm.
for the next greatest thing, you will never buy a computer.
I usually don't disagree with that, but they did announce that in a week there would be announcements. So
Delay it a week.
A week, I'll wait. Much longer than that, I won't.
Very well. Any other member announcements?
No one had anything to sell? No parting with any goodies?
Oh, I got some things to sell. Have I got a bridge for you? Oh, where's
Yeah,
yours?
I have a router if anybody wants it.
Anyone need a router? So Mary, Lisa, Al, and Randy, your co-host, by the way. All right, seeing no further discussions there, do we have any questions? Purple Mac usually would be this type of thing. I think we started covering things. Well, this is just a straightforward affair. Well, Al, rumors, news and rumors out. Yes.
Thomas, we've got a question from
Oh,
Darian.
question, Darian.
Hi, thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm not quite presentable, but, and also I would say, give people 10 seconds. We're not that speedy at putting up our hands.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So I wondered if in Apple Mail, if anyone knows how to remove an invalid email address that seeks to autofill. I have ancient addresses. They're not listed in my contacts any longer, or address book or whatever it's called, that keep popping up and trying to autofill. And is there some way to make them go away forever?
Yes.
Ah,
I have to refresh. Give me a
sure.
second, or Pete probably can get there faster than me. But there's a within mail. There's an
At the top,
Help
on
me here,
mine
Pete.
anyway, on window, if you go to, if you're in your mail program and you go to window and you click on it and it brings down the drop down menu, there's a previous recipients.
That's where I was going to go.
Yep. And then you can look at that and delete things from that list.
Great. Thank
And
you.
that's where you're getting that autofill from.
Bev?
Yeah, I can probably take this. Get my echo out. I have two Zooms going and I got an echo, but I can't get on my.
Just mute one of them, Bev. Mute
Yeah,
one of
I
these
thought I
Zooms.
muted it on the computer and I just I got the new MacBook Air M2 and it's hooked up to my computer. And right now I'm talking through my old reliable 2015 MacBook Air. And maybe this, unless it's a simple answer, I am not seeing, I don't know if it doesn't seem like there's two of me. My new one doesn't seem to pick up the camera, though I have the video running. But is there any tricks, or it seems like there should be seeing two of me, and yet it doesn't look like there's two of me on the maybe there is. On my MacBook
we're the
Air,
ones
my
that-
old one, there's two of me, but not on the new one.
Yeah, you're on both, Bev. Your camera on both units are filming you right now. We have two
Okay.
views.
Yeah,
of
but
you.
I don't see me on the other screen, which is I only see myself twice on one. But okay, it's been a little interesting. But might need to do it just like on the All Things Apple
Yeah,
time.
no, we're seeing you twice. Once you're facing us, and the other one
Okay.
is a side shot.
Yeah, because I've got the computers on.
Yeah.
But on my old MacBook,
Oh,
I've got
yeah.
two visuals of myself, but on the big screen, the 27-inch, there's only one visual of me.
Your window is probably see the thing is when you plug your laptop into the monitor, you now
Mhm.
have two
Yeah.
monitors, and the window you're looking for might be on the other one. So, or it might be minimized. So you want to check if the window you're looking for is minimized or is it on the other monitor. It's got to be there somewhere, otherwise Zoom wouldn't be running. But yeah,
Yeah, because when I look at like the little caret on the video on the big screen, it says FaceTime HD camera or my iPhone or my selections. But this is probably too detail driven to take up time at the meeting, and I can stay with my little 2015.
Yeah, oh, Barbara, you have your hand up physically, I see. If you're,
Okay. I don't know if Pete's gonna cover this, but I'm having trouble with my Apple TV. I can get BritBox, but I can't on Acorn, I get audio, but not visual. And I've been on the phone, not phone, but I've been on the chat to Acorn twice today for 4 hours. And they keep running. Of course, they take so long to respond, and they keep shifting me to other people. And I've checked everything, I think, on my iPad, and I've tried it from my desktop, and both is the same issue. Acorn will play on my Apple TV, on my TV, but not the sound, but not the visual. Am I making any sense?
yeah, you can hear it, but you can't see it.
Right. And I can see the stills. So you're leading up to selecting your show. It's there on the TV. And okay, I'm going to pick this show and click on it. As soon as a video starts rolling, it goes black.
Believe it or not, that could be the HDMI cable you're using, because there's something called DHCP, which is a type of copy protection or digital rights management. If you've got another HDMI cable, it's worth a try.
Right. I even bought a new Apple TV, whatever that's called, last year and rehooked it up. But you're right. I think I might have used the same cables and just plugged in.
They're finicky.
Yeah, and
I'll give it a
some of
try.
them do, and some
Right.
some of them do have digital rights management or copy protection built in.
Mm.
It's worth a try. I went through the same maddening thing recently where it ended up being a cable that I had to throw out, but in the string I couldn't figure out which cable it was forever. So
Okay.
yeah, that's likely, but text me or email me if that isn't the problem, and I'll continue to help you out.
Okay, it's the
Do
same.
not buy the cheapest cable.
What?
Do not buy the cheapest cable, because you might repeat the problem.
Okay. Pete, do you have the same
Right.
email as you've always had?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Ray? You have your hand up?
Yes, thank you. I think I know the answer to my question, which is no. The question being, is there any apps that are that can read Kindle files and are
I
not
was ready
Kindle?
for you. I was
Yeah.
ready for you, Ray. I saw your email.
Oh,
They
good.
forwarded it over to me. I did a little bit of digging. I'm not that familiar with Kindle. I own one and we use it on planes and stuff, but I've never really dug in. But I do know that there is an ebook type of file type, and then there's Kindle files that are wrapped in digital rights management. Now you can read ebooks on a Kindle, and you can read ebooks on your computer or your other e-reader devices, but you can't read or decode Kindle files that you bought directly from Amazon that are specifically for Kindle. Those really can't be, can't ethically be broken open and used elsewhere. There are hacks and jailbreaks and stuff that you could do to move those files to other devices and be able to strip the DRM or digital rights management off. But as far as a straightforward way, there isn't. But if you do a little digging on Reddit, you can get to a place where they'll show you, hey, here's what you can do. Whether or not you should is up to you, but there are some workarounds. But yeah, Amazon locks their content up very tight with digital rights management.
Yeah, my workaround right now is well, if you read my email on that, I like to copy and paste code from a Kindle book as I'm doing some writing and or coding. And my workaround is I can do just a screenshot of that particular page and run it through a PDF to text converter. And for the most part, it does a good job. So that's kind of a workaround for me right now. It's pretty quick also.
Don't forget Photos, the app on all your devices, your iPad, your Mac, your phone is also a text conversion reader too. So you could take a screenshot there and then go in Photos and select the text. You may be cutting out a middleman if you just use that. But yeah, that sounds like a smart way to do it. But yeah, you could break the DRM and do it that way. But I think you're onto something, unless it's getting annoying doing screen captures over and over again. I mean, I know you got to go in and delete them afterwards and stuff, but yeah.
Okay, well, thanks.
Yeah. I was curious to know what you're into with the Arduino cookbook and stuff. I like to geek out on those kind of projects, but maybe another time catch up on that. Yeah.
Bev, did you have another question? You had your hand up for a while.
Let's see. I think I just need to contact someone first. I can't get the picture on the big 27-inch screen, so I can't get two. I can't get them both to work with, and I probably have too much trouble articulating what it is to take up the time of a general meeting.
You have two monitors?
Raising the hand and working off both computers, and that's why you saw things going up and down. Thank you
Oh,
for
okay.
calling
All
and
right.
checking.
Didn't want you to feel ignored or anything like that, because I'm such a nice man. All right. Do we have any other questions? Repeat. Oh, there's got to be another question out there.
Tons of questions for Pete. Valuable resource. Must be some obscure little problem somebody's having.
I can't believe it.
All right.
Yes, I
Don,
have
maybe Don. I think
unmute yourself there, Don.
Touch screen monitor.
There you go.
I have old TV and I just plugged in an HDMI port to see if I've got a big monitor hooked through the USB port on my MacBook, and I also have one of dongles with ports on it that I have an HDMI port on, and I plugged it in there, and I've used that port for another monitor, but I'm getting no signal, and I'm wondering, I've got it plugged in the HMDI 1, which says ARC also. I don't know what that means, or
Yeah, try ARC stands for audio return channel, and
Mm,
that can be a fussy port.
Specific,
I've
yeah.
had my battles with the ARC port. Try one that doesn't have ARC, and
Yeah.
then what you have to do is go in your Mac system preferences under displays and
Right.
make sure you're detecting the display and pulling down the right resolution and stuff. So try that.
Okay.
Who else has something they need to test Pete with? He needs it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice your hand was up. Forgive me. Elaine.
Yeah, just my hand just went up.
Oh.
So on my partner's MacBook Pro, he gets this pop-up like every 5 minutes or something. It's we have found a virus on your computer. Click here, McAfee or whatever. And it has the symbol of the settings, the little gear looking thing. And I know it's a scam and we won't click on it, but can we stop it somehow from appearing? And I mean, it's constantly popping up and then it disappears. And then a similar message, not exact, comes up and it disappears. And just wondering if you've heard of that, Pete, and if there's a way to stop it. Just annoying.
Yes, well, folks, this is adware. This is this is adware, and adware. This is adware's job is to annoy the heck out of the user, usually until they give in with their credit card number or call their tech friend. There is a way to fully uninstall that, but it is not easy. I personally would want access to the computer so I can go through. It's the way I describe it is tentacles. Adobe does this. Some other, Apple lets them get away with a little bit of creative license here, and the tentacles wrap around different folders and different utilities on your Mac to trigger these warnings or these virus, click here type things. You can uninstall that, but it's either going to be an easy uninstall or it's going to be a very difficult uninstall. So yeah. Since I don't know exactly which adware it is, it could be some kind of Mac cleaner utility that somebody tried to install at some point, or somebody said yes to a drive optimizer or something at some point. But yeah, once these things get in there, they're it's either an easy, straightforward uninstall of whatever software is in there. Let me ask you this: is that person using any type of antivirus software on their Mac?
I don't think so.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, something slipped through the cracks. They approved something somewhere along the way, and I'd be happy to see if I can take a look in there and find out what adware it is, where it's installed, and how to go about the steps to uninstall it. I also like the option of completely repaving the hard drive. I do that myself about every year with all my machines. I completely reinstall a new operating system. I put my storage folders back on there. I reinstall the apps that I need, and everything is very fast, like the day you took it out of the box when you do that. So maybe if you'd like, I'll help you on Zoom at some point. Maybe we can Zoom. You could share your screen and I can see what I can see, or strongly consider the option of wiping everything out and starting fresh as the day it got taken out of the box. That doesn't mean you lose all your applications and stuff. It's just a half a day of work and a couple cups of coffee to get you back up and running like brand new. So a couple of things to consider there. Let me know if I can be of help on any of those.
Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome.
And Pete, my sister had that exact same problem yesterday. And her son is kind of a computer geek, and he sent her something that really helped. And I can try to get the link for you. She was using the Chrome browser, and he found something, and she did have to reload the browser or something like that. But it sounds like it was a real simple fix, at least for her on the Chrome.
Yeah, I also have to point out the irony here, because
Yeah.
sometimes the people who are trying to help you send you a link to a piece of software that helps you clean your drive. And then a week later, it pops up and says, we've detected a virus. So it's sort of, it is a bit of a loop there. That's why I strongly recommend a complete reinstallation of the operating system, because then there's no nonsense, so It's just one of those things. But again, if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out.
Very well. Any other questions?
As a follow-up for a moment,
Yes.
if you're in the chat, Dale Steele posted, says Caliber is a program that can translate many ebook types, so that might be some Ray can check out.
Yeah, I'll check those out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Darian had a comment, looks like it'd be a little snarky, but like saying, yes, the quotes or the stars on ethics and legally, yeah. If you strip DRM, that is illegal, and it's unethical to strip DRM. It isn't unethical to read ebook files on ebook readers, but yeah, Amazon does not allow Kindle files to be read on other readers, and so yeah, that's why I made the comment. I can tell you what you could do, not what you should do in a case like that. So yeah, that's. Thank you for the clarification and the asterisks.
Very well. Oh, yes. Oh, Randy, yes.
Okay, Pete, on Apple Maps, we just got back, wife and I, from Southern California, and we like to take deliberately, we want to take the toll roads. You know, they've got so many different freeway things that use the fast pass or fast track or whatever. And we want to take the toll road, I think it's 72 or 73, and Siri will deliberately try to get us going on the free route. Is there any way to override other than we just deliberately, we go the way we know we want to go, and she'll redirect. But I know your quick solution would be use a different map service, but can you do anything on Apple Maps?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I summons Apple Maps for a route, oftentimes it shows me 3 or 4, and I can click on one of the 3 or 4 and choose that one as the one I want to go to. I would hope that they would give you that as an option, the toll route, but then also show you non-toll routes. There is a setting in your map settings that says avoid toll roads.
And we've clicked that. Yeah.
Okay, you don't have that. You don't have that checked. So there is no way to say preferred toll roads, unfortunately. You could make, this is an interesting workaround, but you could make the toll itself your destination and then do add stop, right? And then you would add the stop to where you're going. And then with your finger on that screen, you can move the stops up and down in the order, right? So you could make it so the toll booth itself in a particular place is part of the stop. That's a very creative workaround. There's probably apps and programs out there that'll just do it for you automatically. But yeah, no way to tell it to give me toll roads maps. Yeah.
Pete, I surrender. What is your alternative map? Ways or Wise?
Well, I'll tell you what, when I moved across the country, we drove across and there were all these great utilities to use while you're driving. One was an audio narration based on the geolocation of where you were. It would just start telling you about your surroundings. You know, hey, if you look to the right, if you look to the left, you'll see this. This was an area of great, whatever it was. That was really fun. It would take me a minute to get my act together such that I could share those links with you. So would you mind reaching out to me via email, and I will reply with those links to those cool travel apps that we used. And some of them might be just what you're looking for.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Could you just maybe give those to Al and where he could include them in the blast?
Sure. Yeah. Yes, I could do that.
Darren.
Yep, I'm just being troublesome here, I'm afraid. I appreciated people's hot tip about the previous users. Unfortunately, the email address I'm trying to get rid of that pops up isn't there. So any other suggestions? I'm talking about in Apple Mail.
Right. Seeing none.
Darian, if I can be of some help
Darren.
here, I would love to schedule a Zoom call where we could share our screens and I could maybe get a better look at the context of what's going on. I do understand the question you're asking, but sometimes there's just something there that you might not see that you can right click or change a setting on. So if you'd like to email me, it's, you don't mind putting it in the chat there, Al. It's just petelozzi@gmail.com. And I'm happy to see if there's some way I can help you that way. I've had that question before, and I remember having to get eyes on the person's computer so I could get to the place, because I wish it was just obvious, delete all previous,
Thank you. I'm not sure how I can make it do that again, but I'll give it a whirl and see if I can
Alrighty.
get anywhere. Thank you.
Chris?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the answer, but for that emails, if I go to my email and I start typing in the person's name, and if I select the wrong address pops up and I select that, then I click the little arrow next to that person's name and a drop box comes down, and one of the choices there is something like delete from previous recipients. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Worth a try. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. That's the Windows on my Mac anyway.
Oh, that's standard.
Maybe it'll appear more readily there. I'll give that a try. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, have we any more questions? Are we going to be hearing all the magic that Apple TV will do? Seeing none, is there a question
I'm
in the
happy
chat?
to. Or yeah, this is fun too. Let's either way, we ready to get into it?
Sure.
About an hour.
All right. Yes,
yeah,
about an
roll.
hour, because we're gonna wrap her up around 8:30 for our wonderful general meeting, which
We know you can speak for days and stuff, Pete. So we know
every
you.
time I'm invited here, I say,
Yeah,
did
rock
you
and roll.
finally, yeah, every time I'm invited here, I say, did you finally extend me to 4 hours? No, okay, not this time. All right, that's all right. That's okay. Well, first want to start by saying thank you for having me. It's one of my favorite groups to be in front of, and one of the most longstanding groups that I've had the pleasure of contributing to. I think it's 15 or 16 years now that I've been partnered with MacNexus, and that doesn't hold a candle to most of you and how long you've been around, but at MacNexus. But I just always very appreciative to be here, and you're a tough crowd, and I love that about you. So thank you. Please interrupt me anytime you'd like. I'm not a formal presenter necessarily, and I do like to hear your feedback or for you to butt in whenever you need to. Obviously, if it were to become too much, I'd say something. Don't worry about that part. I'll handle that part. But please, yeah, raise your hand or chat or let me know what you're thinking as we go. We'll have a little bit of time for questions at the end. I mean, I always say that, but then I always go right to the end and then kind of squeeze our time for questions. I'll try to be better about that. But yeah, tonight we're going to take a look at Apple TV. I don't know what level of popularity Apple TV has with you. I've already heard from a couple of you that you own one. Can I just see hands maybe of people who own an Apple TV? Oh, 6 of them. I think Al might have me beat even there. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Great. Well, many of you own an Apple TV, and really looking forward to talking through some of the innovations. I mean, tvOS 17.2 just dropped, and there's lots of stuff going on with Apple TV. I'm really excited about the announcement. If you haven't heard, Apple announced that they'll be announcing something. I love that Apple is so cool that they get to announce when they're announcing something. But they'll be announcing something next week, if I'm not mistaken, or no, October. Yeah.
On Monday.
November
30th.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Thank you. November 30th.
5 p.m.
October 30th. Sorry.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm excited.
And they will likely maybe bump the Apple TV then, because it has been a while since it has been bumped. By bumped, we mean receive an upgrade in processor and chips. You know, Apple doesn't just use a processor. There's so many chips that they use, the M1 or the W1 chip, the wideband chip. There's the secure enclave chip. There's a lot of different chips they build into these things. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of sensors they build in and that kind of stuff to Apple TV. One thing I can't demonstrate for you on Apple TV, but I am very excited to tell you about, is that FaceTime is now available on Apple TV if you have iPhone 13 and above, I believe. I'm sure I will have a link in the chat about more specifics about which models work, but FaceTime on Apple TV, I was like, what? How does this work? All you do is you set your phone somewhere near your TV and the camera faces you. So you have your other party on this nice big TV screen, and then they have you in 4K video because your phone has such a good camera. I tried it with my daughter, and my gosh, it was such a cool experience. In fact, 3 of us were sitting on the couch talking to her on the big TV, and the video will zoom to your face when you're talking and zoom back out and then zoom to somebody else's face when they're talking. It's very impressive. So those of you who do have the generation of Apple TV that will work with, and the generation of phone that will work with, you'll see a big green FaceTime icon on your Apple TV after it does its update. Now, if you haven't already updated, you may have to go into your system and update it. That'll be the first thing I show you when I pull up Apple TV. I actually figured out a way to share my screen, and that screen is going to be an Apple TV. So we'll be able to get hands-on and go through the settings, and I'll show you where you'll pull your update from. The Zoom is the FaceTime is very cool, but Zoom has also raised their hand and said, we're going to come to Apple TV too. So Zoom is going to make a Zoom app where you can Zoom on your Apple TV by just setting your phone in front of your TV. Now is a great time maybe to pick yourself up a few of these. I think there's about 8 of these around my house. They're about $5. It's just a phone stand is really all it is. The phone can be placed on it, obviously, both in landscape and in portrait orientation. This is perfect for setting this in front of your TV, right? You set your phone in front of your TV this way, so the camera's facing out, and then that's going to be your FaceTime camera on Apple TV. Or if you'd like to Zoom with your Apple TV, that would be your camera for Zoom. Believe it or not, this camera on your phone is way, way, way better than the one that's built into your monitor up there, that little hole. This is way better than that. So your viewers are going to be able to see nice, very clean, high resolution video of you if you choose to use your phone as your Apple TV device. So a huge innovation there. And I think introducing that was very smart. I mean, Zoom is something we do often. Shoot, maybe we can take the next Zoom call or the next, maybe the next time I appear, I'll do it from my Apple TV just to show you how kind of easy it is to use that utility. The first thing I'd like to do, I'm going to share this screen here. This is just my browser, but I did want to get all this info in front of us and didn't necessarily want to have to recreate it all myself. So let me just put this here. I should be sharing a browser now. This is really just to talk about why there's 2 models, what the pricing is, and which you may want to choose. I chose the Wi-Fi plus Ethernet only because I have Ethernet throughout my home. So wherever I can, I choose to offload Wi-Fi traffic onto Ethernet, so there is much less Wi-Fi traffic going on in the house. As you have all probably experienced, Wi-Fi can knock some signals out or make some signals difficult to get or interfere with each other. So for me, having hundreds of devices, I counted my light bulbs the other day. There's 71 light bulbs connected in this house. I would imagine there's a ton of Wi-Fi traffic. So we we do as much Ethernet as possible. This was the big factor for me for the two choices you see here. The storage, which is the only other difference in the two options on the screen, doesn't really matter to me because nothing is stored locally anymore except for games. All the other video you watch is streamed and it's not stored on the device at all. So to me, the storage wasn't a big deal. If you're a gamer, though, if you're somebody who is going to be downloading and playing games often, then you'll run into a problem where you'll get the message that says your Apple TV has run out of storage. You've got to delete some stuff that's in there before you can download anything else. I don't run into that problem, not because I haven't run out of storage. Well, because I haven't, because like I said, the only thing you really need storage for is the games. You can't really force anything to be stored locally on your device like you can with your phone. You know how you can go to Netflix and you can say, download this episode in case you want to watch it on a plane or something. There's no utility for that on Apple TV. I think Apple makes the assumption that the TV is just going to sit, or the box is going to sit under your TV and you won't be bringing it anywhere. So it's just a streaming device, really. So those are the two models, 129 or 149. I highly recommend that if you do have Ethernet in your house, you get the 149 so you can take that traffic off your Wi-Fi, or you can go the 129 route with no Ethernet and Wi-Fi.
Pete,
wait, yeah,
Pete,
go ahead. Sure.
A question about that. So if I don't remember what kind of Apple TV I got, so and the remote looks just like that. Is there a quick way to tell?
Yeah, the remote is really the best way. Now the last two remotes look very similar. Let me see if I can pull up Apple TV remote history. The last two remotes look very similar in that they were silver with black buttons. Here's a good one. Let me just get this.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. I wanted to kind of get this image on the screen here. Can I enlarge that? Okay. This is the latest one on the right. Okay. Solid black circle at the top with essentially 6 buttons underneath, or 5 and one big double button. This is the latest model, and so if you have that remote, you have what they call 4K Apple TV. The previous two, you'll see there's a white circle around the menu button. So if you have the all black remote, it's very thin and wafer-like, and you have a white circle around the menu button, you have 1 generation back. If you don't have that white circle, you have 2 generations back. And if you have the thin remote with only the 3 button cluster here, then it's time for you to get a new Apple TV. And if you're still using this white remote, I'm surprised it's still working. And there was something else I wanted to show you here before I got off of this page, and that was under here, I believe. I wanted to show you this list here. This list is an ever-growing list of subscription services. And some of these are quite relevant to Apple TV, some not so much. So Apple One is basically all this stuff in one subscription. They make it really easy for you to just pay one price. I'm just going to click on it so you can see there. But you see, you basically get, for one price, your iCloud storage upgraded to 2 terabytes, Apple TV Plus, which I'm going to show you in a minute, Apple Music Plus, Arcade, Fitness, and News Plus. These things by themselves, like Apple Arcade is $5 a month, and News is $5 a month, and I think Fitness is too. So if you are subscribing to, there's a breakdown. If you are subscribing to any of these individually, you can see this breakdown here. It's about, you're paying about $67, where they made this bundle to save you about half, and you can get all that for $37.95. The biggest one here for me is music. I can't go without that subscription. So that was really important to me. And that's the family plan. So that's for 5 people. You can see here it says share with up to 5 people. So all these can be shared with up to 5 people. They don't have to live in the same household either. Like my mother is on my music plan and she lives across the country. So I wanted to point that out too, that there are a lot of subscription services now. 2 years ago, or maybe a little longer, we weren't talking about all this stuff. But now it's pretty important to understand how you're spending your monthly money and that you're not doubling up, that you don't have, 3 of these things and you're paying more than the $37.95. Something for you to think about. But if you Google Apple One, this will come up and you can take a look at what you're buying now. And if you could save some money getting this bundled deal here, you can see they're all a significant savings over buying them separately.
It looks like they dropped Apple News from the first 2.
Well, yeah, there used to only be one Apple One, and then they split it up into 3 now, where you only get news and fitness on the Premier.
Oh, but I think they may have, if you already have it, it seems like they may have grandfathered you in, grandparented you in.
Could be. I think, yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah. I don't want to glaze over some of these things, like Apple Fitness. It's not my thing. I'm not a fitness person. I never have been. So I've used it once. And then after nearly dying for 4 minutes, I decided to go cook something. But
reward yourself.
Yeah, of course. That was a long 4 minutes. But I was very impressed with what Apple Fitness has to offer. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to pull up Apple TV and show it to you. Not only can you choose your musical style that you like, not only can you choose the instructor that you find appeals to you most with their style, it hooks up to your watch. So live biometrics are taking place. Your watch is sending signals to your TV, and it's telling you what your heart rate is right on the screen. It's telling you, the thing that got me riled up is it shows you this little graph that says either most people are way ahead by this time. I was like, I'm not most people, darn it. I would imagine athletes would see something like most people aren't even close to this, but no, I have not. I've never seen that message. But Apple Fitness is more than just a workout video. It is a remarkable combination of technologies that really is cool if you are somebody who's into fitness. And then Apple Arcade. There were games that get a lot of almost like AAA titles on the App Store, and Apple made a deal with those big titles and said, we'll pay you, don't sell the app, just give it to us, we'll pay you a royalty, and then we'll collect from our users. So as a gamer, if somebody is a gamer, Apple Arcade is an attractive thing because you get access to 200 games without having to buy a single one of them. So that's nice too. I'm more on the Apple Arcade than the Apple Fitness myself. Okay, so I just wanted to sort of walk through that first. Now I'll share my screen, which will be the Apple TV itself, and we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into in tvOS. Okay, tell me how you feel about this view. Does it look okay? Can you see it clearly and it looks good?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, nice. This is the Apple TV interface. And one thing about the Apple TV is that it is very much based on the same principle as your phone. It is a device that allows apps to be windows into different things, just like your phone. Each app is a window into something different. You have an app that is a window into your bank account. You have an app that is your window into maps and directions. You have an app that is your window into the internet via your browser, whether it's Safari or Chrome. You have an app that's your text messaging app. Apple TV is no different. It is a device with apps on it. Just like your phone or your iPad, all these apps want and provide different things. And let's talk about the want and provide here. Many of these apps provide you with something, a viewing experience or sports, or let me just use my remote here to go down and look at some of these apps, games, you know, food TV, MTV, whatever you might be into. There is likely to be an app that will provide it to you. Now, just like on your phone, every app gets to do things their way. Meaning that if the app wants to charge you $5 a month to get the thing you want, then it's going to charge you $5 a month. If the app wants to be free, but ad driven, so you see ads all the time, that's what it's going to do. This is very different from where we came from as a culture, because we didn't have this type of choice most of the last 50 or 100 years. I don't know how long, but you pretty much gathered around the programming and you watched the programming and the ads that were given to you. We now have on demand where you get to choose now what you want to watch and when you want to watch it. The problem is this, gosh, it's quite a racy. The problem is this is a destabilization of what we've been used to. We no longer pull up to our device and watch whatever's programmed and watch whatever ads get thrown at us. Sorry, it's giving me some audio. We're now going to watch whatever we want. That is super cool, but it also comes with its consequences in that we cannot just flip on the box and watch. One time, Steve Jobs called the home entertainment space a bag of hurt. Those were his exact words. You could look that up, Google it. He said it was a bag of hurt. He was referring to cable. He was referring to Comcast cable. He said it's a bag of hurt for the consumer. I couldn't agree more. It has always, well, up until the time when on demand showed up, it was always just pull up to the box and watch what was being programmed and watch the ads that were on those programs, or maybe you had a VCR, a DVD player if you wanted a movie or something. But now it's gotten so confusing for the consumer that we're all just sort of doing different things that are piecemealed together. Maybe. Some of you are still securely nestled in your cable box with your Comcast remote or your Spectrum remote, and you're still going through your cable operating system, and you're still kind of watching whatever's on the guide. That's cool too. If you haven't left that yet, you may not ever have to. You may be forced to at some point. I'm what they call a cord cutter. So I kind of left cable behind. I don't have any channels through cable at all. That means something. That means a lot, because if I have no channels, my TV doesn't really know where I am. Sounds weird, but that matters. Commercials are broadcast regionally. Sports broadcasts are very regional. So not having cable, it's even more complicated. I'm going to come to you from the perspective of somebody who doesn't even have cable channels. And we're going to walk through Apple TV as somebody who doesn't even have cable channels. If you do have cable channels, it doesn't make a difference on the Apple TV. Where it does make a difference is you've got your set-top cable box. And that's probably your go-to. Every night, this is my go-to remote. I only pick this one up. I don't have a cable box remote. This is all we have. So when I pick this up, I have to make this work. And a bunch of different little apps sometimes become annoying. I mean, if I'm paying $5 to subscribe to 10 different apps, now that's $50 a month, it gets difficult. I'm going to show you some examples now. I'll stop talking about it and more show you. But I just wanted to sort of paint that picture before we get in here, that it is very painful out there once you leave your cable box, once you leave the comfort and safety of your Comcast box with your DVR. It gets really painful out there. It gets very difficult, and it gets expensive. So this is something to think about. I'll tell you how I do it. and it's not the most economical way, but I believe I've got everything I need specifically with this. Before we get into entertainment, though, I want to get into a bit of utility here. I want to look at the settings a little bit. I want to talk about how to upgrade your box. I'm even going to strongly recommend that you put your Apple TV on automatic upgrades, that whenever the upgrades are available, they simply get installed without you even knowing. And the next time you open your Apple TV, there is the latest operating system. So I think I'd like to start with that, if that's okay with you. And please interrupt me anytime if you have questions, but I'm going to go to settings here. I'm just going to use the remote to get into settings. And in settings, you know, you've got this list here. I'm just going to go down toward the bottom, and I have system. And in system, we have something called software updates. Now, when I click into software updates, I have update software, which is a command. You can say update software, and that's going to go search for the latest software, download it, and install it for you. I have automatically update turned on because I want these to be updated. When I turn on the TV, Apple treats me to a nice screen that says your tvOS has been updated and here's what's new. I kind of like that. So that makes it really easy. If you're concerned about updates and you want to wait and stuff, then obviously don't turn this on, but I don't recommend any delay in these updates. Beta updates, that's up to you. Beta updates are you getting the next operating system before it's actually officially released. I don't do it because the reliability is poor. You know, it's a beta, so you get crashes and unexpected things there. I tend not to do beta updates, but I do highly recommend getting your automatic updates turned on. There we go. So that's the first utility I would like to call out here. The next one is Command Center in the new tvOS. Command Center has had a huge upgrade, and it's quite an easy utility to use. So I'm going to invoke Command Center on my remote here, and you can see I got this new box in the upper right here that is my Command Center box. The first thing here is I have the ability to simply power off. I can power off the Apple TV. On the new generation Apple TV remote, I'm putting it up to the camera there. There's a little button in the upper left, upper right corner. That'll also power off. So you don't have to go to this menu if you have the newest one. However, if you have previous generation Apple TV, you have to go to this menu. There is no off button on there. And this is where you can change audio. Now, this is also important for those of you who have a HomePod. If you have a HomePod, doesn't matter. There's two sizes. You could have a large one and a small one. You can situate that near your Apple TV and tell it, I want that to be the audio for my Apple TV. It is Apple's solution to the sound bar. I'm sure you've been to Costco or an electronics store where they show you a sound bar and a subwoofer. It's usually two pieces. Sometimes it's just the sound bar. Apple decided we don't want no sound bar. We're just going to do the Apple TV, the HomePod, and you can use the HomePod as your output for Apple TV. So I highly recommend that if you do have a HomePod near your Apple TV, that you try using that as your audio source. But the other thing that's really convenient here is that you can use your AirPods or your AirPods Max. Any of the Apple headphones are compatible with this audio button here. So, and multiple devices too. If you have the latest generation Apple TV unit, I think 2 or 3 people can listen to their AirPods through the TV and share the same audio. This is super convenient if you have a spouse that goes to bed earlier than you, like I do. Like I put my headphones on and I can watch whatever I want and not worry about disturbing them. So just your AirPods. You don't have to buy special ones. If you have AirPods, they'll work, which I think is great. In this command center, there's now a sleep timer as well, where you can tell it, hey, turn off in an hour, turn off in 2 hours. I can tell that. This is where you can hook up a game controller if you're one of those gamers. Here's some accessibility options and a search button where you can search for whatever content you're looking for. The other day we put in, show us Robert Downey Jr. movies, and it just came up with lots of movies. So this is the new command center. Let me just check in and make sure everybody's okay. Any burning questions? Okay.
Yeah,
Pete,
actually.
Pete, I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
Can the AirPods and the speaker be usable at the same time?
No.
Because
No.
my wife hears perfectly. I need a little extra help hearing the TV, so it'd be nice if I could have my AirPods working while she's listening through the speaker.
No. You could,
Okay.
you could do a workaround, but it would take wires and you're
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, not natively.
And Pete, I have one. If you're going to get to it later, that's fine. I use the Apple TV to watch things I've recorded, and when I try to skip through the commercials, it only goes in 10-second increments, and I'd like to change the increments to 30 seconds. Is
Yeah.
that a setting or not?
No, yeah, good call out there. And that is that, yeah, if you're trying to fast forward through commercials, the reason there's there's a reason there's no setting for that is because that's all controlled by the app developer. So like you're probably using the YouTube TV maybe app, or I'm not sure which app you're using, but the utility of how long they allow you to fast forward belongs to them. So there isn't a universal Apple command that says make the skip 30 seconds, because the individual developer gets to determine that.
Well, that's interesting, because it's on Comcast or Xfinity, and when I do it on a different device, it skips further. So whatever.
Yeah,
it's just
Comcast
annoying.
Comcast owns all the content, or they lease all the content. So it's all coming through one box of settings, where this is a box full of a bunch of different developers' work. So it's a little messy, but yeah.
Thank you.
How do you get the command center thing to show up on the TV?
It depends on which
I have that one.
Okay, if you have this, can I spotlight myself? Let's see. No, you may want to, pin. You may want to spotlight me there just so people can find my image there. But to get the command center, I hold down this button here, the one right above the volume up and down. I hold down that button for just 2 seconds. And if you hold that down for 2 seconds, that command center will pop right up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Karen? What was that, Karen?
Pete, when I updated, or when our Apple TV last updated, it must have kicked off the sound bar that I had on it. Do I have to redo that to Bluetooth, or how do I get it back?
Yeah. To reconnect your sound bar, it's probably a Bluetooth connection. So you would go in settings and then in audio devices. In settings, you'll see video and audio. And then audio, you have all the different settings there.
Isn't Bluetooth at remotes and devices now?
Oh, yeah. I also check in audio just to see if it's there, but not selected. But yeah, then you can go in remotes and devices under Bluetooth, and you can pair the device there.
Not coming up under the audio output.
What's that?
So it's not showing up.
Yeah, so I think you have to repair it with Bluetooth. Yep.
Okay.
Was your sound bar like hooked directly to your TV set. You know, your TV set, some of the
Yes.
modern TVs, they have their own set of controls for peripheral kinds of devices. It's kind of a complication, but you know, you might look at that circumstance, which you.
Well, I will, you know, we had a lot of trouble with it, and we finally got the soundbar to respond to the Apple TV remote, and we were ecstatic, and now it updated and it's gone again. So I don't know what we did or what happened, but it's not responding to the soundbar is not responding to the remote.
The story you just told is, you know, all the more reason to get this is an advice for you because you've already purchased your soundbar, but all the more reason for anybody who's thinking about purchasing an extra audio device like a soundbar, get the HomePod, because Apple manufactures both devices and they just work perfectly together. You can even have 2 HomePods if you want, one on each side of your TV. If you want to do that, it'll take 2 HomePods. So yeah, I recommend that. I don't think it should have disconnected from your Bluetooth device when it updated, but it's surprising to me that it did that, but hey, it happens sometimes.
Well, it does sound a little strange to me too, but I just came in when I came in to get to my Apple TV so I could follow you along, and I didn't even turn the soundbar on, but it's got sound coming out of the TV. So then when I went down to audio output, after turning on the soundbar didn't show up. And
I got you. No, I got you. Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that.
And I had the soundbar before we had the Apple TV, so that was that I was already locked into that. But thank you for those tips. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah. All right. I wanted to, I'm doing my classic take forever and then rush at the end. So I don't want to do that. We've still got 25 minutes. We're in good shape. What I'd like to do is just show you a few things. The fitness app was one of them that I really wanted to bring up and show you. Let's see, as you select your watch. So I'm going to select my Apple Watch here. And then my Apple Watch told me, do I want to connect to Apple TV? I'll say, yes, I do. So it's connecting there. But this is what I wanted to show you is that there's not just high intensity, there's meditation and yoga, dance, kickboxing, cycling. If you have a cycle, mindful cool down, and then you can choose your trainer that you like. But one thing I really like is when I was messing with this is let me show you. This is so good. In any of these videos, I'm just going to hit play here. In any of these videos, what they do is the middle instructor, the lady here you see in the middle, she is going full. That instructor is doing 100% of the workout. The one to her right is a way reduced version. And then the one to the left is special needs. So, you have these 3 people you can watch. And for me, I obviously watched the reduced version one when I did my 4 minutes. And it was really nice to see that somebody was acknowledging my limitations. I'm a big man. I can't hop around like that. So watching the person on the right gave me a reduced version of this, which I thought that was great. So they do have a reduced version. And you can also sort of choose the style of music you like, because they can change the song based on your selection here. So it isn't all rock and roll or hip hop. There's some good stuff there. So fitness is very cool. I want to keep going around the horn to music. Music is amazing on the Apple TV, especially if you have some decent sound. The Apple TV app, the music app on Apple TV is just very cool and easy to use. You can access your entire library right here. You can listen to whatever you choose from your library, or you can explore the entire catalog of Apple Music. And then listening is really nice too. To listen to this music, you get the choice of having the lyrics on the screen, which I think is really nice. Hopefully this isn't too loud. But you can see here, I get to, enjoy the lyrics on screen as the music's playing, which I think is nice. Here, let me fast forward to where there's some lyrics. And it highlights them too. Basically your own karaoke machine. And there's a new feature. The digital rights management is blocking me from showing you, unfortunately, but it's called Sing. And you can actually use the remote as a microphone and do karaoke because there's a utility in here that mutes the lyrics of any song. You don't even have to go find karaoke. You can just pull up whatever song you want. It'll mute the lyrics, and you can use your remote as a mic to sing through the microphones. My kids love it. It's really remarkable. So if you haven't dug around in the music app on Apple TV, I highly recommend it. There's some very, very cool stuff here. One thing I want to show you, you may want to go fishing around for. This to me was a very cool thing to find. Here, let me, once I find it, here it is. What you do is you go to your music app on Apple TV. That's where we are now, right? I'll show you. It's just this little icon out here. Come on. Oh, wow. Sorry, here it is. The music, the Apple, the music app. I'm in there now. If you go to the first tab, you'll see the tabs across the top. Listen now, radio, library, now playing. If you go to listen now and you scroll all the way down to the bottom anytime during the year, the coolest thing is down there. It's your replays for every year. So like if I go back to 2019, it'll show me the songs I played the most. So here for 2020, let's see, mine goes all the way back to 2015, but for 2023, let's see, who was I listening to the most? The Boycott Target song. Let's see what else. Just I'm mostly into 70s hits and stuff, so you see a lot of that on mine. It's just interesting though to go through here and see what you've been listening to all year. So that's in the first tab. You can also find that on your phone or your iPad if you want. It's not only on Apple TV. To find it on your phone or your iPad, it's basically the same thing. You go to the Listen Now button, which will be at the bottom instead of the top on your phone. And you just scroll down to the bottom of that page. It's pretty long, but then you'll see something called replay. And when you see the replay, that's the recap of all the songs you've been listening to throughout the year. Really fun. Okay. Now, there's other apps and stuff. Here is the App Store, and it's got lots of things to choose from. You can get in here in the Discover tab, and you can take a look around at lots of the different things you can download as an app. Plenty of games. There are sports utilities and other things like that. So explore and download the things you like. There's lots of fun things in there in the App Store. You can see I have a bunch of apps. But in sticking with utility a little bit before we get into entertainment, as another thing I wanted to show you is I'm going to hold that button down again for everybody who's following along. That same one we hold down to get the control center open. The one in the upper right there of the 6-button cluster. Now that my control center is open, I can push up and move to the right or left. You can see there's 3 options in my cluster up there. And if I push to the left, my HomeKit is all accessible to me here. Now, this to me is really exciting. A lot of technologies are coming together. And you've heard me say for a decade now, if you're going to invest in any smart home devices whatsoever, a door lock, a doorbell, light, whatever it is, make sure it's HomeKit compatible. Pete, why do I care if it's HomeKit compatible? Isn't that just a marketing thing that Apple's trying to do? No, HomeKit compatible devices, smart home devices, do a lot more than just go into the Apple ecosystem. For instance, video that you take with your cameras that are HomeKit compatible cameras, that video never leaves your router. It never leaves your house. If you get a Wyze Cam or if you get a Nest Cam and you install that camera, that video is going to their server first. and then down to your video, down to your eyes. So they catch all that video. And they have all that video. Now, who knows? What are they doing with it? Nothing, maybe. But what I love about Apple's HomeKit of cameras is that that video never leaves your premises. It goes in your iCloud only, and the manufacturer of the device does not have access to it. I just like that. Okay, but I'm going to show you how remarkable this can be. I'm going to go into my HomeKit devices now, and I'm just going to pull up my all cameras screen. Now, what's great is if I'm sitting watching TV and I hear a noise outside, me not being the fitness guy, I can just pull up this screen and go, what's going on outside? Is there somebody coming up to the front door? I can open my front door camera right on my TV here and take a look and see if there's anything at the front door, package or a person. I can also take a look at the back, the basement door. I heard a noise. Is there anything going on in there? No. And here, remember, we're sitting in the living room and we've got our remote, and this is on our TV, right? We haven't had to change devices or anything like that. This is just right on Apple TV. I can get a list of local devices that are near this camera. And I can, with this list, I can activate the device. So for instance, if I want to turn the light on, I just click this button and look at that. The light just turned on because I was able to just simply tap that. I'll turn it back off. But I can operate many of the HomeKit devices near this basement door. There's a fan right on the other side of this sliding glass door. I can turn that fan on or off right with my remote. So that piece of utility to me is astonishing, that I can just pull that up right from my remote. I can't tell you how many times we've been watching TV and a picture-in-picture pops up of somebody coming to the front door because it knows we'd want to see that. So it pauses my program and there's a picture of somebody walking to the front door. I can also communicate with that person through my Apple remote. It's just amazing. I can also go down here and change lighting and stuff if I want to access any of my scenes here. It really is an astonishing utility to be able to, with this remote, access all those cameras and turn devices on or off that are in the vicinity of that camera. Amazing. Okay, that's a little bit more on the utility here. One more thing I want to point out here is you can also have different users that use your Apple TV, and those users can set their profiles up any way they want. Their Netflix is logged in, their Hulu is logged in, their YouTube is logged in. So changing the person here in the chooser will allow you to have a better experience if you are with, in the house with somebody. For instance, I have my Netflix is logged in and all of my shows that I currently watch are in Watch Next for Pete, right? So if we go to my Netflix, I go to my account here. And when I go to Watch Next or, whatever, continue watching, here is my list. Well, my wife doesn't get that benefit. When she logs in, she opens Netflix and it's my stuff. Well, if she goes up to this little dot here first and she changes to her account, then it's her Netflix that's logged in and it's her up next that she's seeing. So really nice utility there too, to be able to have profiles, and those profiles are contextual to the person that's using them.
Pete, does she have to have her own separate Netflix account to do that? Or is
no, so she can still log into the same Netflix I do, but then choose her profile. You're probably thinking, well, that's kind of redundant. Can't you just do that on your Apple TV profile? And the answer is yes. I used a kind of bad example because there are some apps out there that don't have profile switching. And so it makes it convenient for those apps. But currently, that's sort of what we do. They'll just all log into mine. We open the same Netflix and then they just choose their account within Netflix. But this is more of a global, like the wallpaper can be different and the screensaver can be different. Photos is another big one. Like if I go to my Photos app, it's all of my photos. But if my wife wanted to see all hers, she would switch to hers. So
if she jumps into Netflix and she probably has their own things that she wants to watch, does Netflix keep track of that as far as interface wise for the Apple TV, or does when you create a profile, I guess you just and different people in your family choose whatever streaming service, but you're probably you're the one who's subscribing to all these services. Is it the function of that streaming service to keep track of the of the things that that individual wants to view, or is it just to keep track of yours?
Good question. And that's a relevant question too, because with algorithms these days, it takes what you watch and then makes suggestions to you based on what you might be interested in. And my wife and I have totally different entertainment interests. So yeah, well, Al, that varies a bit. With Netflix, it is compartmentalized. And, if she's in her account, it will indeed show her recommendations that are relevant to her and stuff. But also, Netflix is a bad example because Netflix doesn't allow Apple TV to see any activity that's going on in there. It's one of the few content providers that does not allow Apple in, which is very strange.
They want their own metrics, I guess, since Apple won't share theirs. Yeah.
They don't want Apple getting a hold of their metrics to see what shows are successful or what aren't.
Exactly.
So the last, the thing that'll probably run out the clock with here, and Thomas,
Pete, Ray's got a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, most houses have multiple TVs throughout the house. Would you have to have an Apple TV for each of the televisions throughout the house?
Yes. Good question. Yes, an Apple TV is connected to each of the TVs that you want to stream. In this house, there's one on each TV, even in our guest room. And I just have a little set of instructions with the remote for the guest, and they're able to log into their Netflix or log into their YouTube or whatever they want. But yeah, one is required for each of the TVs that you want to view the content on.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So a couple things left. One is I just wanted to show you AirPlay. AirPlay is where you take the contents of your mobile device and you're able to share that with others in the room. So sometimes we go on a trip somewhere, we go to the cabin. When we get home, I share my phone screen on the TV and flip through the photos with everyone. So let's do that now. I'm just going to, in my phone, I'm going to go to the command center. The command center is where all your little utility icons are. And there's one that looks like a double square, two chiclets. Let's see, where is that one? It's right down in the bottom there. You see that little double square, two squares side by side like that. That's your AirPlay. So I'm gonna grab that and I'm gonna say, I want to stream this to oh, this is the right one. I might have just turned on the TV in the bedroom. No.
Oh God.
My wife's going, what?
I don't go nuts. We didn't do it. We can't be blamed.
It's not recognizing. Maybe I can't show you that. But it's screen mirroring. It just broadcasts whatever's on your phone to the Apple TV. Very convenient if you're sitting in a room full of people and you want to share something. Okay, last thing I want to get into is the cord cutting bit. What do you do then if you don't have a cable account, if you don't subscribe to Comcast or another cable company? How do you get local channels? How do you get sports broadcasts and all that stuff? I've found an easy solution, but it's expensive. It's called YouTube TV. It's $70 a month, I believe. I pay for YouTube TV, but what I like about it is that I am able now to get local broadcasts.
Now, during the Rooms to Go
I'm able to get live TV in my area. So if I go down to live, I have a guide, just like you would with a Comcast or something. I have my Atlanta news first at 11 p.m. This also behaves as it. This also behaves.
I got a quick question.
This also behaves as a DVR. Whoever's discussing, you're not on mute, so it's coming through to all of us. This is also a DVR where I can select any of the shows that I see here, and I can add them to my recordings. I have a library here with all of my recordings in it. So this Google TV has been the solution for me for live TV and for DVR and all that stuff. $70 a month is steep, but when I eliminated my cable bill, I saved $150 a month. So I don't know. I kind of like this alternative, this YouTube TV. And yes, the answer is yes, you get live TV in your area, you get sports broadcasts, you get the news, the local news and all that stuff. So with only one remote and no cable TV account, I am the cord cutter who won't watch it if it isn't available here. Just
It's
and
a lot
sports,
cheaper in Comcast.
Look
at your hands up.
Two of them. Ken is one of them. Hey, Kenny.
Hey there, guys. I hate to butt in, and I just got in a few seconds ago, and I wholeheartedly agree with YouTube TV. I have it and I love it, but it's 12:25 in the evening here in Buenos Aires, and I have a 4 o'clock wake up call. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody and happy 39th anniversary to the club, and doing great. And I'll take no more time because Pete's doing such a great job. So thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you later.
Good to hear your voice, Ken. Yeah, take care. Have fun.
Joel.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Someday I'll see all these photos.
Yeah, well, your wife can get them.
Oh, Facebook. Okay, I'll have her hand
Yeah,
me the
there's
photos
some
and I'll look
up
through.
there. I'm trying to keep up on it a little more. I got to go through them. I keep making too many new photos. I don't go through and work on my old photos, you know.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Joel.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, my big question is, this might be exactly what I've been looking for. Can you fast forward through the commercials that you've recorded on YouTube TV?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is way cool. Okay.
Take a look. I'm going to show you an example of that now. I'm going to go to my library. This is my DVR stuff here. I can go to any of these programs here. I'm just going to do The Voice, and we'll go to this episode, and I can whiz through the whole thing if I want, or when a commercial comes up, like you see here, I can just use the forward button to go 10 seconds at a time to fast forward through the ads, and then get started again on the other side. So to be able to not see ads, to me, is worth a lot too. It's really nice to just sort of fast forward through those and get right back to the program. As you can see, it's in beautiful 4K. There is no pixelization or loss of resolution at all. Incredible job they've done with bringing 4K.
And you have an ISP, or you have a cable provider or internet provider, correct?
Yes, I am with AT&T. They have excellent fiber internet out here in Georgia, and I have a fiber connection, and that's all I pay them for, and then the rest I pay Google for YouTube TV. It's really nice. And good to hear good to hear Ken chime in with the thumbs up too. It's always good to have an endorsement from both of us. We're usually at odds with each other, like, no, not that. But yeah, when we both like something, it's probably got to be good.
Couple more minutes, Pete.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, I wanted to see if there was anything anybody's curious about while I have it up here. I'm happy to go through anything with you. I've gone through all the big things here and all the big parts I think that are worth talking about here. But what do you have for me? Is there something you'd like to see while I have this screen up, or is there?
Pete, Carlos has a question.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, just a quick question. When you were talking about the phone stands, are there any in particular that you think are better?
I probably not. This is made overseas. It's just a very inexpensive. Some of them articulate in different ways. Some of them will give you, like, this one will raise a little bit higher and it'll give an angle here. So, I have several of them around to the house. Most of them are different brands. Some I like better than others. Some fold up flat and you can put them in your bag. So when you go to Amazon and you search for phone stand or something, you're going to see tons of different ones. Do what's best for you. If you need something that raises and lowers well, or you need something with a hinge, there really should be under $10 or so for one. If you find a 3-pack or something, that's great too. Because once you get one, you love it. Put it at the lunch table, watch the news while you eat, or it's great for filming stuff. Somebody asked me, how do you cut a watermelon so great? And I just set the thing on there and cut the watermelon and sent them the video. It's really handy to have them around, because without them, where are you going to put your phone? It just lays flat somewhere.
They have
So,
some
yeah,
large enough
thanks.
for iPads too.
Certainly, yeah. The iPad ones are amazing too. Yeah, some will do both. When I found Woot.com, WOOT, Woot.com, I used to be really, really hooked on that site. Every day, it's a new set of bargains every day. So at 10 p.m. your time, Woot.com changes over to the new day, and it's all new bargains. And I see them there often for like $5.99. I'll buy 10 of them at a time because I give them as gifts and stuff to my mom and sisters, whatever. So look there on Woot.com. You might find them there, and just buy the inexpensive ones. But gosh, they're so handy. They're just so handy. You want to wash dishes and talk to somebody at the same time. You don't have to. Your hands are free. It's just so nice.
Black Friday.
All right.
Oh, Black
Thanks,
Friday's
Pete.
coming up. Yeah.
All right, we got.
Or Amazon Prime Day. Ray, looks like Ray has a hand up.
We're gonna wrap her up here, folks.
Yep.
Yeah, another quick question. How's all this work over 5G wireless versus fiber?
I don't think I've ever connected mine to a hotspot. I would imagine you need really large bandwidth for 4K HDR video. So I don't even know if this thing will connect to a cellular device or a cellular hotspot. I think
Ray,
you
ask
need
that
proper
question
Wi-Fi.
to Ken when he's back, because he's already experimenting with that.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Ken would be a great resource for that.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. And if any of you are looking for a robot vacuum, the Wyze robot vacuum, WYZE robot vacuum, it's about $300 on Amazon. I've had the thing for 2 years now. I just bought another one. It is a remarkable device. That thing goes around your house. It shows you every spot that it cleaned in the morning. You can look at a little map of everything that it cleaned. And it gets everything. If this is just in case anybody is looking for one of those, the
You got
Wyze.
one more hand.
Okay, Chris, and then we're done.
I may have missed this, but so you pay $70 a month for the YouTube TV, but then you're also paying a certain amount a month for Netflix or for Hulu or for any other streaming service. Is that correct?
Yes, that's where things get really difficult, is all these big companies are competing with their original content. Apple's in the ring now, right? Apple Plus. They've got the morning show and, a lot of, what is this guy? The soccer guy, Ted Lasso.
Messi. Yeah.
And
Ted
Ted
Lasso,
Lasso.
yeah.
They've got all these, properties. Netflix has their properties. I'm hooked on some. Netflix is probably, Hulu's got their own. So yeah, to get all of them, you got to pay a lot of money, but I try to pick and choose. Don't forget, with these subscriptions, you can turn them on and off at any time. You don't have to be locked into a 1-year contract or anything like that. So sometimes I just shut Netflix off and I wait until a good show comes out and then I turn it back on and, pay again. So yeah, it does get expensive if you want everything, but I try to budget and do my best to reduce costs wherever I can.
Pete, thank you so much for coming and visiting us.
My pleasure.
You always such a wealth of knowledge. So great resource for the club, and come back anytime.
Hey, my pleasure. I told Mary today.
I'm still waiting for Empower Mac 2.0.
Yes, me too.
Or
I can't wait till it arrives. Yes.
Some kind of
Looking forward to next time. I was going to do the Saturday one, but my daughter's coming to visit, so I had to say no. I didn't want to, but I had to. But yeah, really looking forward to next time. And thank you for having me. And enjoy the rest of the meeting. It's 11:30 my time. I'm gonna go ahead to bed. But I appreciate the invite and very, very happy to see you all. My pleasure to come and join you. So thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Pete.
Bye-bye.
Thomas, before we move on, we're going to be heading into the raffle here in another half hour. And we have an individual who's been logged in as iPhone Joe's who we can't put into the raffle right now. So if iPhone Joe's would please change their screen name to a first and a last name, be happy to bring you into the channel, assuming, of course, you're a paid up member. But thanks, Thomas.
All right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So now I am going to move forward. I'm going to go ahead and call the annual meeting to order. Let me look and make sure I'm doing everything correct. Where's my pointer? Go, there we are. And I'm calling the annual meeting for Magnexus, general meeting for Magnexus to order at 8:35 on the 25th of October. Oh yeah, and the annual meeting notice was distributed August 7th of 2023. And I will let you take it away, I believe. Bob, did I cover my bases?
Yep.
Mr. Rush? Oh, did I didn't make you co-host, did I? I thought I did. I should have. You are now. Oops. Now you are. Oh, you're muted, Bob.
We'll change that. Thank you.
Excellent.
We have on the minutes of the October 26, 2022 annual meeting. The annual Magnexus membership meeting was called to order by Vice President Thomas Spencer at 7:09. Vice President Thomas Spencer demonstrated proof that the notice of the annual meeting was sent to members via an email blast. Secretary Bob Ress read the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting. Al Trivet moved that the minutes be adopted. Lisa Goodwill seconded the motion. The motion was approved by a voice vote. Lisa Goodwill presented the treasurer's report. It showed an ending balance today of approximately $37,046.51 on September 30th, 2022. Copies are available from Lisa Goodwill at the email address shown. Bob White announced that as election commissioner, he had completed the tally of the ballots. The result of the balloting for officers and directors for 2023 was: for Vice President, Thomas Spencer; for Director at Large, Al Trivet; for Director at Large, Rich Peterson. There were 91 ballots cast via Election Buddy. No paper ballots were cast this year. Vice President Thomas Spencer called for old business. There was none. Vice President Thomas Spencer called for new business. There was none. Business having been concluded, Curtis Purnell moved to adjourn. Carol Becker seconded the motion. The motion was approved by a voice vote. The meeting was adjourned at 7:21 p.m. This was the year that we took and had an in-person as well as a Zoom. We had 7 of the club volunteers that were present in person. We had 7 members that were present in person, and we had 32 folks attend by Zoom. That's it, Tom.
Very well. Are there any?
I move to accept the minutes as shown.
Don't I have to do the additions, deletions, and correct? Or not? Do I get?
We do need a motion to approve the minutes, Tom.
All right. I accept the motion. Is there a second out there?
I'll second it, Tim Mullins.
Okay, Tim Mullins seconds, Al Trivet, move the item. I will call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
I will go with a voice vote. If you could please unmute yourself. Aye.
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 It is sounding
Aye.
extremely unanimous. Any opposed? Hearing none, I will state that the minutes have been moved and seconded and accepted. And now we will have our reports. Lisa, I believe you're listed first. Are you gonna go first, my dear friend?
Right, yes. I just needed to find where
Right.
my file was.
I
So
wasn't rushing you.
can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
I can see it.
Okay, great, good deal. Okay, so in a heartbeat, we began the year with cash on hand of $34,851.80. We have brought in $8,087.32. We have spent to date, meaning September 30th, $6,539.68. So cash on hand, $36,399.44. Any questions can be asked now, later, and of course I can give you copies if you want any.
And we get lots of interest in come, as you can see.
Yeah, well, I think in the rehearsal, Thomas said, Lisa, and I said, boring, 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 moving on. So, I have fulfilled my purpose tonight.
Excellent. Are there any questions out there? Very well, we'll carry on, and now I will move forward with Mr. White, the election results. Am I not correct?
Yes.
Elections Commissioner.
Well, you have to put up with Ken Spencer, Bob Ress, and Randy and Mary for another 2 years.
Yeah,
Anyway, there were 73 ballots were cast, and we only needed 53 for a valid election, so we're okay in that respect. We had one single person that abstained on 2 of them. So Ken was 100%, and the other 3 were just short.
Oh,
got abstained. Oh,
by that one vote.
Maybe they
Well,
should come
thanks,
join.
everybody.
So that's my.
Thank you for
story on
serving.
Chicken Coop.
Thank you so much. And
Oh, and there's no paper ballots, of course.
of course. And we welcome our new returning board members, and we're so happy. Are there any more information, Bob, you'd like to impart?
No, I'm done.
Excellent. I will call for any old business.
I have a question. This is Tim again.
Yes, Tim.
Did we need a motion to accept the treasurer's report, or is that not in order?
It was not noted in our previous actions. Will need a motion when we adjourn.
Okay.
But I
Thank
do
you.
understand you're thinking fiscal issues and extra scrutiny. Yes. Any other questions, statements, or declarations? All right, seeing none. Any new business? Mary. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, you came up like you're speaking. Excuse me. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Al Trivet.
Al made a motion to adjourn. I'll entertain a second.
I'll second it, Tim Mullins.
Tim seconds. Oh, I had a couple others jump in there. Okay, Tim's
Okay.
right there. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing so, we have adjourned this annual business meeting for Magnexus 2023
At
Thank-
8:44.
at 8:44. Thank
Not
you
bad.
so very much. Now we will carry on, and I have to go ahead and pause the recording now, right? Because we're just in the raffle.
Correct.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I
Well-
gotta report it because Al, we're gonna go to your short clip, your
Yeah,
presentation.
About a 6.5 minute
Okay,
MacNexus
hold
retrospective.
on. Let me
You still
pause
need to pause